Let's get party started. All right. Hello. Happy Wednesday, my friends. I hope you girls are doing well. Stacy and I have actually we lost Stacy. Whoops, where did she go? Stacy and I were chit-chatting this week about what we can bring to the table this week. And I thought I'm going through something myself where I thought if I'm going through it, I know my clients are going through it. If not right now, maybe in the past, or they can. So I asked her, hey, how are your weekends going? And weekends sometimes can be the most difficult time, right? So there she is. Stacy, I lost you. So I was just telling the girls how we were talking about how the weekends can become more difficult because, our routines change. We have plans. And one of the things that I notice that happens to me is that because I have the family home, I'm like, oh my gosh, let's have coffee. Let's go eat ice cream, right? We do like these things around food because we want to spend this time with our family. We want to make it all cutesy and oh my gosh, these traditions. And then sometimes my weekends go south and I'm like, oh my gosh, what did I just do? And I know that these times are fleeting with my kids, but there are other ways that I could engage. It's just sometimes that's the easy route. So we figured, Stacy and I figured we could bring you 6 tips on how to lose weight on the weekends to see if this helps you like I am needing it, because there are weekends where I notice that I am slacking. The first one that I will share is my mindset. My mindset goes out like, oh, it's the weekend, so, I can probably take a rest day, which is fine. I'm not saying anything against a rest day, but I'll be like, forget the lemon water. Let's have Cuban coffee, cafecito. Or my breakfast will be a pumpkin pancake because it's fall and I want to make that for my kids. And it's not to say that it's horrible, but I can see how there are patterns that take me south. Whereas in the past, I've been like, okay, veggie omelet, with some bacon, and I'm good to go. And then my lunch is going to be a shake. And then my dinner, if I want to play around a little bit, I have a lot of containers left where I could actually just be like, oh my gosh, I could literally indulge without sabotaging my results. Does that make sense? So, number 1 is reset your mindset. I am vowing to really look at weekends that it should be no different. For the rest of October, I am vowing to drink my lemon water like I do every day of my life. I will do that on the weekends. And my breakfast is, if I'm going to have the pancake, I know that for lunch, I can't have a yellow container. I cannot splurge and be like, well, let me have a wrap. No. Because if I'm only allotted, thanks, Stacy, for taking the notes. I appreciate that, babe. If I'm only allotted 2 yellow containers, I got to honor that. If I know that I want to feel my best, if I know that I want to stay laser focused on my goals, because it is who I become in the discipline. It is how I perform when I'm choosing the best foods for my body. Could I indulge? Absolutely, at times, but it shouldn't be every weekend. So I'm going to challenge you with, instead of indulging on food, indulge on sleep. Who needs more sleep? I know I need more sleep, ladies. Gina called me out today. She's like, what happened to you with going to bed early? Because last night I went to bed like past 11:30 or something. And she called me out. And I love that, because just because I'm a coach does not mean that I mess up or that I am not on a journey, right? I love when women can help me elevate, because that's what I do for other women. And I love getting that back. I love how Tina was like, what's going on? So let's overindulge on sleep. Maybe let's overindulge on reading. Maybe you have this book that you're dying to like cozy up on your couch with a cup of coffee and you're like, oh my gosh, I want to dig into this book. Why not overindulge on that? Why not overindulge on quality time with our children when it has nothing to do with food? Why not overindulge on a walk? And let's connect with nature, with our partner, hands in hand, instead of saying, hey, let's open up a bottle of wine, because that's me at times. So number one is reset your mind, overindulge on a behavior that is going to get you closer to your goals rather than on food. I'm vowing to that. Number two, more water. I know that on the weekends, my water is like, it's like a disaster. Why? Because I start getting lazy, because I know I'm going to live in the bathroom. And I asked myself, Susie, why does that change on the weekends? Stace, how do you do with water on the weekends? Are you still good?
I have crickets for my text messages. My salon people are messaging me back. I am pretty good on my water, especially if I am at my hair salon, because I keep it right there. So, and I offer water. So that's another good thing, that I offer water, and it's the first thing that I grab. So I give it to them. So if I'm working, very, very good. Fine. Not working, I don't know why. I feel like it's the weekend. I'm like, oh, I'll have another, I'll have a cup of coffee today. Blah, blah, blah. So yeah, I would have to say I'm good at work. It just depends. When I'm home, sometimes I don't know why. In the car, I'm good too. So I try to focus on where I'm really good, right? Like the car is exceptional, like to chug like to the gas station or shopping or whatever. So if you feel like you haven't gotten it in, like make that your time to drink your water or chug your shake in the car.
But see, what I'm picking up is when you're in your routine of work, you're good. And when you're not in the routine, you slack a bit, like me, right? So let's set ourselves up at least to stay in that routine. And I'm going to give you a tip. What if in the morning when we wake up, we dedicate a good 30 minutes to ourselves, right? At least 30 minutes to continue the regular things we do on the weekdays, so that we don't like deviate too much. So for example, I want to wake up this Saturday and Sunday, still have my lemon water, hence getting in my lemon water, staying on routine, maybe indulging on a book or a little bit more sleep, but doing the behaviors that I normally do Monday through Friday, so that my weekends are not very different. Does that make sense? So number two is more water. Remember, we're going over 6 tips to lose weight on the weekends. Amanda, I love that you're here. So we went over number 1. Stacy's taking notes. Number 1 was reset your mindset. Number 2 was more water. Number 3, plan ahead. We know that this is key. You guys, Autumn Calabrese talks about this all the time, over and over and over. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Plan ahead. So if you have an event, what can you do that's going to set you up for a good day? So I have been very successful in the past. I just talked about it briefly. I saved my yellows and my blue containers for the event, because typically in an event, a blue container is either avocado, cheese, guacamole, nuts, that usually you're like kind of like finger foods at a party or an event, right? And your yellows are your dessert, your bread, your wine, right? Baked potato, mac and cheese, whatever you decide to indulge in. If you're saving that for the event and you're not having that during the day, you should be on point. I know for me in the past, that has worked really, really well. So plan ahead. Let's say you're hosting an event. You should be preparing platters that are going to benefit your nutrition lifestyle. Whether that's a platter that has cherry tomatoes, which are easy to pop in your mouth, or maybe some celery sticks with hummus, or some carrots. And if you want to get, make it fun, someone in here was saying that they added honey. Was it you, Gladys, that you drizzled honey on your carrots? Add a little bit of honey, not a lot because it's sugar, but you could add a little bit. That way you're like, oh, this is still delicious, but you're having your veggies. I will tell you that Veggies Most, which is a principle from the To Be Mindset nutrition plan from Beachbody, is a super successful key for me. When I am on vacation, if I am filling my plate with Veggies Most, I usually come back from vacation and I do not gain weight because I am filling myself up with veggies. You can't go wrong with veggies. Now, the question is, do we always want to eat the veggies? Probably not. But if we learn to be disciplined and say, okay, like Gladys has taught me this. Whenever I'm going to have a pizza, Gladys has told us she has a salad first. Why? Because she fills up on the veggies. By the time you get to the pizza, okay, you're indulging, but you're pretty much full because you already had all these veggies that filled you up. That is brilliant. I did that the other day. I ordered from a restaurant. It was a Friday night. My husband wanted a veggie pizza, and I said, I'm going to have my salad. And if I still want the pizza later, I will have it. I ended up having like 2 bites, and I was like, I'm good. I'm good. So number 3 is plan ahead. I'm telling you, ladies, save your yellows and your blues, and I promise you, you will see weight loss on the weekends. Do not have your yellows earlier in the day. Do not have your blues if you're going out. If you're staying home, that's different. But if you are going out on date night, when I'm blow drying my hair and putting on makeup, I always have my Shakeology. Why? Because when I'm in the car, I'm not starving. I'm satiated with my shake. By the time I get to the restaurant, I'm looking at the menu. I'm not wanting to eat everything with my eyes because I'm satiated. By the time my meal comes, I'm ordering a steak and asparagus. I can indulge in a glass of wine with a little piece of dessert that I'm sharing with my husband, and I'm good. I don't go crazy on date night because that shake saves the day. It is my solution to my biggest problem. My biggest problem was going out on restaurants and having the bread, the baked potato, 2 glasses of wine, the dessert, and then a little coffee. A million yellows in one meal. Planning is key. Plan ahead is key. Number 4, let's prep on Thursdays. You guys, let's make Thursdays a key day where we can prep like if it was a Sunday. Why do I say this? Because you're going into the weekend stocked up with either good, healthy choices in your fridge, or if you want to be brave enough and prep your meals, what will your Friday, Saturday, and Sunday look like if you're meal prepping on Thursdays? Think about that. I know when I'm meal prepping on Sundays, I'm like, all right, I'm going to have an awesome week because I'm prepped. What happens to the weekend? I'm kind of like, oh my gosh, I'm running out of food. I don't have enough. And then you just grab whatever's there. Let's vow to prep on Thursdays to set up for a super successful weekend. Imagine how exciting it will be to go into that weekend. How excited will you feel when you open up that fridge and you're like, you see your grapes, your carrots, your celery, your zucchini, your cherry tomatoes, all there, your eggs, your hard-boiled eggs that you can grab when you're just a little hungry. Your nuts are in your pantry, right? Your Shakeology is all cute in your little mini bar or whatever, next to your Energize so that you can get your workout in on the weekends because we don't slack, right? How cool would that be? That we can open up our pantry and our fridge and be like, this shit looks attractive, right? So I'm vowing to Thursdays, prepping on Thursdays, not running out of options. Number 5, socializing smarter. These are 6 tips to lose weight on the weekends. How can we socialize smarter? Instead of focusing on food, why are we not focusing on going for a hike? What about a bike ride with our kids? What about going in the pool with your hubby and swimming a little? I know Gladys has some nice pool time Saturday night. I love it. What about roller skating with our kids, you guys? Who used to go to Thunder Wheels, Hot Wheels, all the things? We can bring all that back. Age is just a number. Why not do some of that activity on the weekends rather than let's get together and eat or let's do a barbecue, right? It's okay to do that, but we can become smarter in our socializing. We can become just more active. And that leads me to number 6, get moving. Focus on how many steps you can get in. So I am now gonna vow to get in 10,000 steps a day, no matter what, even on Sundays when it's my rest day. I'm going to get moving. I've been slacking on the weekends about really not caring about moving my body. And you know what? It shouldn't be, because at the end of the day, if I am still looking for example, if I'm on weight loss mode, I should be moving my body. And it doesn't have to be like overtraining. It could be a nice stroll on the evenings with my husband on the weekends, or maybe getting a morning walk like Stacy does it with her nature's bath, listening to a podcast for 20 minutes before we start our day. Right? It's about continuing that routine that we have Monday through Friday into the weekend so that we're not sabotaging our results. We're still on that weight loss mode. And even if you're not on weight loss mode, because I am not on weight loss mode, I can still use these steps and these keys to maintain my weight and maintain my results and not throw out all the hard work on the week, because on the weekends, I'm just kind of like, I could chill a little bit, because I've caught myself there lately with my birthday and the retreat that I went on and all the things. And now the weekends with the holidays come and you're kind of like, oh, I'm big on like tradition, which is beautiful, but I don't have to remove the behaviors that successfully helped me in my journey just because the holidays are here or I'm a tradition girl. So quick recap. Number 1, reset your mindset. The weekend does not have to be different. I am admitting that I am struggling with that, and I will do everything in my power to just get my shit on check. Reset your mindset. Overindulge on sleep. Overindulge on reading. Overindulge on maybe resting rather than on the food. Number 2, more water. Number 3, plan ahead. Number 4, prep on Thursday. Number 5, socialize smarter. And number 6, get moving. I could rest during the day or maybe sleep in a little, but still go for a nice long walk with my kids or my husband. And both behaviors are aligned with my goals. Does that make sense? We could sleep in, but we can, once we get up, we could also be like, hey, let's go for a nice little walk. Okay. So that is what I have for you. I am going to really hone in on this. I wrote it all down. It's where I could see it every day. I'm going to leave it here so that my weekends are structured. I am vowing to these changes. Are you with me? Are you joining me? Does this help you? And so I want to pass it over to Stace, because I know she's going to give us what works for her or whatever it is that's on her heart that goes aligned with this, because we're all chasing health. And if we're all chasing health, we pretty much have very similar goals. So Stace, I'd love for you to share with us, based on our conversation on this, because I know that so many of us struggle on the weekends. But we can flip that.
And and we all have struggle pockets, right? Every single one of us. It may not just be on the weekends. It might be, after a stressful interaction with a coworker or a loved one. So we have these stressful pockets, and it's just really making me think how we could really all use our bod group posts a little more and take it a little deeper for that added layer of accountability. I think what happens sometimes, and this is just me like being honest in group, and I'm speaking for myself, okay, is I get very much into, yep, day one, posted it, and I'll say a little blurb and off I go, right? But I think if we all could see that right before we hit that post button, that if we practice the art of being really real, because I'm preaching this to myself, right? I think we're going to find power in those pockets when it's challenging for us because we're speaking more truth into the community and not shying away from that. Like when life gets hard, and it's like I know sometimes like we have to shy away a little bit. Things are heavy at home or whatever it may be, but it's really making me think, like, why are we shying away when the life is hard? Why do we shy away from our community? Sometimes it's needed, right? I get it. And I'm not saying it's a negative because we've all done it. But what I'm saying is why are we not taking advantage before we hit that post button, including myself, and really being truthful in that post of what you need versus just saying like, like I got my shake in today. Well, what else happened? Because we're not just surface level people in this group. We're enriching our lives. We're deepening our souls. So I think for me, what's coming up for me is when you're saying all this is for me, I want to be more real when I post, because what I love and what really helps me is when somebody likes my post, honestly, in the group and comments. And it really like it helps me. It like when you feel like you're alone in a wellness journey, you guys, and a lot of us, you guys, it's usually us. It's not the husbands are with us or they come later. It's usually you and you're by yourself. And like that's just helping me not feel alone. Like literally someone to like it, love it, or whatever, and say something. It's like somebody's looking at me. And honestly, that helps me because I'm like, okay, whoops, someone's watching me. Like I need to, it kind of makes me want to do better. Right. So I think if we could just take a moment, like before you go to bed tonight and just think about, okay, like how often do I post in the group? What do I post in the group? Is that helping me? Like, is what I'm dishing into the group, is it helping me or is it making me, I don't want to say look good. You know what I mean? Because I used to do that in a group, like I got it done, but I was really silently struggling. You know what I mean? So for me, I'm vowing with Susie to take the rest of October and just be completely transparent and truthful in my posts. Because one, it's going to get it out of me. Two, it's going to make me not practice the art of hiding because deep down, I don't want to hide anymore. I don't want to hide. I don't want to do the rat race of starting and stopping and because I do that. And you guys all know I struggle with my nighttime binge eating. So I'm just going to go fucking talk about it. I'm going to not give it so much power anymore. And it's not a bad thing. Like, why am I making it a bad thing? Maybe I need to learn something about it. Like weight loss will come. Those 10 pounds that I really want to lose will come when I understand why it's still around. Versus the way girls typically look at it, where they just lose weight, but they're not trying to find the root. You know what I mean? So I'm saying this for myself, and I hope it resonates with somebody because it really just touched me tonight. And I was like, you know what? I need to not be so rushed when I hit the post button. I need to take that time and connect to what I need to connect to. Because does anybody read your posts? Do you guys read your own posts back at all? Do you guys ever do that? Or do you? I do. I totally do. And that's what's making me think of it. And Susie kind of like reignited that thought. I go back and I reread my own post. And I'll say to myself, okay, Stace, were you being real? Were you being surface level? Are you hiding something? Like, what should you be talking about? Like, And I think for me, I'm just going to take this posting platform and really dive deeper. So you're making me really think about that, because posting is not just posting. It's so much, it's like a diary entry. And I'm okay letting people read my diary entry in here because I feel safe in here. And that's really valuable.
Yeah, I love that, Stace. I think that in our nutrition chat, we get vulnerable. We share, what we're doing, what we're not doing. At least for me, I know that,
Yeah.
when I'm like binging or I mess up, I'm like, girls, keeping it real, this is what's going on. Could I go deeper? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, I do find that I do share all my meals, even on the weekends. And I will say that on the weekends, I feel like if I'm the only one that's posting. And it's not to make anyone feel bad. It's just, for me, if I were to not post on the weekend, I am admitting that I would probably be eating whatever the hell I want. I do better when people are watching what I'm eating, because it is true accountability. I will tell you, 6 years ago, when I started this journey, what got me to do the thing was knowing that my coach was watching me. I was so embarrassed posting that I was eating a cookie that I was like, hell no, I'm not going to eat the cookie, because I don't want her to see me eating the cookie when she's the one that's saying, this is your meal plan and this is what you should follow. And I fell in love with that strategy. The fact that someone gets to see what I'm eating makes me level up. It makes me take ownership. And so for 6 years, the key to my success has been the accountability. That is why I find that my nutrition chat is priceless. It is a resource that I never want to give up. Because I'm telling you that if I were to hide, I would probably be eating whatever the hell I want. It matters to me what you girls see that I eat, because I'm not going to talk the talk and not walk the walk. That's not who I am. And it's like I said in the beginning of the call, it's about who I become in the discipline. It's about who I become when I honor my word. It's about who I become when I say, this is what is aligned with my goals. I'm going to finish what I started, or I'm going to do what I said I was going to do. So let's open up the platform. I would love to hear from you all. I know Stacy would too. Who wants to share anything on this? We gave you 6 tips on how to lose weight. Do you want to share anything? Is there something that you're struggling with, or something that's working for you that you can share in here so that it's valuable for us, to learn from you and succeed with your tips? Anyone, just unmute. Let's make this interactive. And if you have a question, let's open it up for Q&A.
Hi, guys. So I'm also, I don't know if you know this, a NAMI presenter, which is National Alliance for Mental Illness, right? And Stacy, I totally connected to what you're saying, because in being completely open and vulnerable, which I'm beginning to just be uncomfortable and blurt out whatever, whether it looks good or not, or pretty or canvas or whatever, is that we have to end the silence. Like, I realized that through the program, this is not just eating good. It's all the other feelings that are coming from this. I was just like, for 45 minutes, I actually went up to one of my coworkers and shared with her, like, not that she's liked any of my posts. I feel the connection with her. It was, and she's, a little bit overweight, but it wasn't that. When we were talking, she has diverticulitis. She's having pooping problems, like all of these things that she started disclosing to me. And I started to get excited, right? And then she's like, okay, let me think about it over the weekend. And I was like, oh my God, I thought I had another cart closed like right away. And I started to think to myself, how this is like a high, right? That moment that you're going through, and then now I have to wait. So I'm like, okay, Gina, God is teaching you something here. And Susie and I mentioned the other day, patience. So this is like just such a gift all together of building who we are.
Yep.
And then sharing that with everybody else, because that's my thing. Like, I've leaned into, at the age of 47, my always prayer of serving. And this is service. And you're gonna get to know. I'm super thankful to the people that I can share with and actually have a conversation with me, because that in itself is allowing me to be uncomfortable. The other thing is, on Sundays, my husband and I used to do this. I started to do it again myself. My scale, obviously it's not super accurate, but it takes like your body fat, your body mass, your percentages, blah, blah, blah. It has like 5 different things. And because the scale isn't moving a lot for me right now, okay, I'm 1.5 pounds away from my next goal, which is 135. It's taken me forever. And there's days that I've been like, okay, I gotta get out of here. I gotta lean into my game, right? On Sundays, I take those measurements first thing in the morning. And last Saturday, I don't remember what I ate because my brain is like all over the place. But I know that I ate something extra on Saturday or later, whatever. And I'm like, damn it, I should have taken my measurement Saturday morning because I did better on Friday night. So like if I stick to Sunday, right, this coming weekend, I'm already thinking, Gina, you need to make good food choices on Saturday. Okay, my eating late, even if it's healthy eating, I know my body will tack on the pounds, even if it's just pure vegetables. So I lean into that measurement, right? Which sometimes is like a point whatever on the BMI, but it's so hard to move your BMI. So 0.2 movement of the BMI is like, okay, I did something, you know? Because not all of our measurements are gonna move all of the time. So those are my 2 things. The whole thing of like the mental health aspect of the growth of coaching, and then using my scale and setting it on Sundays to help me through Saturday.
Yeah, I think coaching takes your accountability to another level, because when you have to share this with other people, or you want to share this with other people, you're really then on your A game. So coaching is definitely a next level accountability. The scale, what I love about the scale is that it keeps me on check. Some people don't like the scale. I personally do. It's a reality check for me. Like, hey, Susie, tone it down. If the numbers are moving up, that means that I'm doing something that's not empowering me. And we know that our choices either empower us or they disempower us. So Gina, thank you for sharing that. Anyone else? I would love to hear from Amanda, because Amanda has had a phenomenal realization today. I actually did a post on my social media because Amanda and I have been together on this journey for quite a while, and to feel her energy today, it just, my heart was bursting with joy. So Amanda, first of all, congratulations. Amazing work, like 10 pounds in 3 weeks, right? I told her today, girlfriend, that is bigger than a newborn baby. She has 2 little ones. She had a scare yesterday with her dad. So in the midst of stress, she's been on point, like so admirable. I freaking applaud the crap out of what she's doing. It inspires me to see a woman level up. Like, I could go on and on, Amanda. Like, you fired me up today in a way that I have not felt in a long time. Because when I can actually see someone say, this is holy shit, like changing my life, it just confirms, you know, the passion that I have to continue to pay it forward. So I'd love to hear from you how you feel, what is working, what's going through your mind. Tell me.
I was like super shocked. So this morning I was feeling good because I started gut protocol last Monday. So I'm like in the middle of week 2. And I put it off for a long time because I was like, I'm not going to do something for 4 weeks, like lose a bunch of weight. And then like, as soon as I start eating normal again, like gain it. Like, I'm not a fan of like cleanses and that kind of stuff. I was like, something's got to happen. I think I made a post last week in the BOD group, and I was just like, I need to like take this seriously. Like, it's not just like the vanity 5 pounds that, you know, like you're healthy, but like you just want to lose it. Like it's like a health issue. Like I need to get my shit together pretty much. And so like I told my husband and I told my dad, and you know, I think I made a post that I like told the people like directly around me, like exactly what I was doing. And, you know, like I'm not getting coffees, I'm not eating out, I'm not, you know, like I'm doing, like if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it like all the way through. And everyone's been super great and it's been helpful because usually when my dad comes into town, it's like the first thing we do is go get a coffee because he lives like up in the mountains and he doesn't like get, you know, fancy coffees. And he came in and he was like, didn't even ask, didn't even like tempt, which was nice. So yeah, just kind of like doing that. So yeah, so since last Monday, I have lost 10 pounds. And I can like feel it in like my leggings, which I think I had a personal trainer like years ago. And she was like, you know, when your leggings are getting loose, that you like, it's true, like weight loss and inches lost. And I put some on yesterday and I kept like pulling them up and pulling them up. And I was like, huh. So this morning I was like, well, I'm just going to go weigh myself, like whatever. And I like stepped on the scale like 3 times. I was like, this can't be right. Like, there's no way. Like when people post, oh, I lost 10 pounds in a week and a half. I'm like, that's BS. I don't believe you for like 2 seconds. But it's true and it happened. And I like texted my husband. I was like, what is happening? Like, I feel like our scale is broken. We need to go get another one because there's no way. Like, there's no way with like not crash dieting, not like doing all that. Like, and I haven't worked out a ton, to be honest. Like, it's been straight nutrition. I think today I worked out when I got home, and I want to say it's like my 3rd workout since like last Monday. And so just because like busy, my dad, the scare, like there was a big forest fire like within a 1/4 mile of my dad's house, and it was super scary. But yeah, it's just crazy. And so it just makes you think like the nutrition really is like, I've always thought like, oh, I'm working out, I'm like doing lift more and I'm like running or biking, like I can eat whatever I want because I just worked out for like an hour and a half over the span of whatever. And I didn't see any results for a month. Like I think I lost like 2 pounds and I was just like, screw this. Like, clearly I'm just going to be this size forever. And so it just like really drove home the fact that like, yes, working out obviously is super important, but it really is like the nutrition piece and the drinking the water and the being accountable. And it just, I don't know, it was very, very eye-opening for me for sure, because I was so afraid to step on the scale because usually I do and I don't see what I want and then it just backfires. And so to see the opposite, it really like all day I was just like on this high of like, oh my gosh, like this is amazing. Like I got home and like did my workout and it just, yeah.
What a win, Amanda. You know, it reminds me of Melissa, who's not on the call tonight. Melissa did gut protocol 4 weeks without one workout, and she lost 17 pounds. 17 pounds. She's a single mom, working her butt off, opened up her doggy boarding business, her dream business. So busy, was like, I can't work out. I'm like, just freaking do the nutrition, Melissa. I promise you're going to get results. And she came back and she was like, holy shit, Susie, 17 pounds. You guys, 17 pounds is a running toddler that drives us crazy, right? You got to think about that. She shredded that from her body. I call that shred of hope. And I talked about that in my post today when I talked about Amanda. I said, this is a shred of hope, because when you know that there is something out there that can give you results and you feel that hope, like, oh my God, what will 4 weeks, 2 months, 6 months look like? It reignites your passion for staying disciplined. I want to take it over to Estrella, who also shared with me This week, I believe it was early this week or last week. It was, I think, on Sunday. You're muted. You're muted, Estrella. You shared with me that you had really good results. Can you share with us what it is that, let me see if I could unmute you.
Okay, I think now
Yeah. Share
So,
with
yeah,
us
so-
what it is that you're doing and what are the results?
it's been around 2 weeks, a little like maybe a day after 2 weeks, and it's been 8 pounds. So every day I get on the scale, like I'm traumatized. But you know, I have all of you girls always on my mind, even though I never joined the chats, but I'm going to because I know that that motivation helps to have somebody there, like to help be accountable or to help you see, okay, maybe they're doing this. But now that I've been doing this every day, I feel good and I feel like, okay, let me keep doing the same thing because every day I get on and I lose a pound and I'm like, you know, I get like shocked. And then I have like a little competition going with my daughter, you know. So I have a 27-year-old daughter who has seizures and learning disabilities, but she's on the roll to want to be healthy too. So we both do it together. So we do the beach body workouts, you know, we do the treadmill for an hour a day, then we take the dog out for a half an hour. So, you know, we're doing at least 2 hours a day, you know,
Of activity.
movement and
Yeah.
exercise.
Yeah.
And we try to read things that, you know, will help us for the next step. So like what you guys were saying about socializing smarter. Today we were actually talking about like something I was reading and it said, you know, if you want to go for coffee, I've gotten over coffee. So I love coffee. Like I used to love café con leche every
Right.
Saturday and Sunday, but now I don't do that. But like last Sunday, my husband had some, so I had a little bit and I put a little bit of coconut milk in it and just I have like those little drops, you know, the little stevia drop.
Yep.
So I put like a couple drops and that like satisfied the, you know, the urge for
Yes.
that little bit of coffee. But I don't
Yep.
drink coffee. I drink tea with my, you know, green tea in the vinegar water. So I've been doing that, you know, the vinegar water with my tea, my green tea every day and the matcha in it. And I've been doing another thing that I've been doing religiously is the Shakeology, which I hadn't been, but I used that to replace, like today I had to run to BJ's. So I was running at lunch. I said, okay, I'm just going to put this in there and I shake it up and I run with it, you know,
Yep.
and it tastes so delicious.
Yes.
So now my daughters are stealing it from me. So now we got that pack that has like the 3 different flavors.
Right.
So one loves the chocolate, the other one loves the latte. So I get the vanilla and then I put a little bit of cocoa powder, you know, just some plain cocoa powder to make it chocolate.
Yeah.
And it's really good. So I'm glad that like what I'm doing is kind of like going towards them. So I'm helping them now at an early age to really watch, you know, what they do. And my younger one, she's 24, but she has a thyroid problem like I do. So she's been taking pills for her thyroid since she was 13. So she really needs to have that mindset, you know. And then she gets home from work because she's doing her internship at Baptist Hospital because she'll graduate in December with her master's. But so she's really busy, but she gets home. And as soon as she gets home at 5 o'clock, 5:15, I'm like, put your shoes. We do a beach body workout, you know, and we sweat it up, you know. And then when you're going to eat, you eat a little bit because, you know, I just worked out and I don't want to, you know, sacrifice. And like you said, the lemon water throughout the day, drinking the water. But yeah, the scale for me has been keeping me, you know, like watching it every day and motivated, you know, and like you said, the sleep, you know. So yeah, I'm really happy and I'm grateful for you guys and Susie for always being there when I have like a little question or hiccup. And, you know, now that I've been doing this for 2 weeks, you know, straight, I feel like I'm on a roll. You know?
Yes. Yes,
So,
I love
thank
it,
you.
Estrella.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of you. You see, when we do the things, you guys, it works.
Yeah.
It's when we get a little bit slacky, right? That we're like, oh my God, but this is not working, or my body. It's usually because we're off on something. And it's not to make us feel bad because we're human, but stress alone, ladies, stress alone is the #1 weight loss resistance.
Yep. Your
stress.
cortisol levels, you
Yeah,
know?
the cortisol levels are
Mhm.
affected. So
Mhm.
we need to also, think about that. So before we wrap up, anyone else want to share anything or any questions? Everybody good? I would love to hear or drop in the chat, how much weight have you lost with a Beachbody program? Everybody drop it in the chat. I know, Stace, you got a big number, baby. Drop that in there. Everybody in the chat, drop in. Stacy
Right
has
now?
lost 50 pounds. Maite, 50 pounds. That's crazy. Oh my gosh. Amanda, 15. Gladys, 20. Median, 13. And I am going to drop in that I've lost about 20 as well. You guys, crazy what we have done. I would love to add up these numbers collectively and see how much weight we've lost. But I mean, it's powerful.
Mhm.
It's powerful what we can do when we focus on ourselves. And I feel like it's about who we become and about having a safe space to do it together. 168 stays.
Wow.
That's crazy. That is crazy. She's adding.
Did you add my 8?
Math. Oh no, we have to add 8 more. Math is not my subject. So I was like,
176 then.
That's insane, you guys. Insane.
Okay.
I mean, almost 200 pounds together. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, you guys, we have tangible tips to walk away with now to set up our weekends for success. We have wins that have fueled us to get through the rest of the week, right? Going into the weekend. And we have each other. We have each other to lean into and know that the accountability is unmatched when you hold yourself accountable and when you could lean into the community and be raw and real and share what you're struggling with or what is working for you. We all learn from each other. There's so much value here. Stace, I know next time we do Tribe Time, you want to share with the girls what we're planning on doing in 2 weeks? Instead
wanna
of
get-
lunch and a crunch, what are we doing?
Well, do you want to give them a clue?
Yeah.
Give them a clue. Let me hear what your clue is.
So we're gonna do, instead of lunch and a crunch, we're gonna go over sweets. We're gonna
Yeah.
cook up or bake up our favorite sweets using something from the Beachbody blog or Shakeology, so that when you have your cravings, you have a resource that you could say, you know what, instead of eating the things that don't serve me,
Yep.
I'm gonna go towards this route, and we're gonna give you a PDF to have. Who has bought the mint chocolate chip bars? Oh my gosh, you guys are dangerous.
Oh shit.
Gladys, tell me how you feel. Do you love them?
I love them. I love the texture. I love the simplicity, how the mint is subtle. It's not overpowering. I am in love. It's definitely my favorite.
Yeah,
Oh.
Yeah.
mine too. It tastes like an Oreo crunch to me.
Do you put in the? Have you tried it putting in the freezer? Like eat like a thin mint. That's what.
Oh, I haven't.
Ooh, I haven't.
Oh,
But I
Stacey,
love
that's a
the
good
current
idea.
crunch. I love the crunch that it has.
Yeah.
It's really good.
They
Yeah.
need to come up with a Samoa one. Just they might as well do all the Girl Scout cookie flavors.
Yeah, I thought of Maite because Maite was like, I don't like mint. And I was like, if they do the Samoa, she's probably going to jump on that one.
They probably will, but
Yeah.
that in the freezer, I don't know why. That sounds.
The
that sounds-
Samoas is my favorite, like Girl
Me
Scout
too.
cookie. So
Oh,
like
I can eat the whole box.
if it's
by myself.
there, for sure. Or
Yeah.
anything salted caramel. If they do anything with salted caramel, that's it. I'm there.
Me too.
Yeah.
But
I have a feeling
unfortunately,
someone-
mint and chocolate
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah. And I think in December, we're doing brownie batter Shakeology. Brand new,
Yeah.
coming
Yeah.
out. I cannot wait. Remember Maite and Summit? We got the news.
I
They
was
were
like
coming out.
screaming. I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
It was like salted, what is like,
So good.
yeah, brownie batter. It's like a brownies, something
Oh,
brownie.
that, and even a
Yes,
brownie batter,
really
like
good.
a cookie dough beach bar would be delicious.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. Good stuff. All right. So that means next Tribe Time, come prepared. We're going to talk about sweets. We're going to help you with your sweet cravings. If you have a
Yeah.
sweet tooth, if you geared more towards the salty stuff, stay tuned. We might throw in a couple of them there
Oh, we
for you
will.
because I know
We will.
yeah.
We will. And you
Sometimes-
guys, this will be good too, to be part of it or be part of it, but catch the replay if you have to. This will be great if you want to sign up for those suites for your friend's house for the holidays. This is probably a lot of times where you're going back into the holidays with people after COVID life, if you haven't been around your friends and family. So if you want to be the girl that brings the sweets, I guarantee you, if you make some of this stuff, one, they're going to have no idea. Then it's fun to watch their reaction, be like, oh, by the way, that's my nutrition. You just got 7 superfoods. And they'll be like, what?
Yeah.
You know, so it's kind of nice too to feel empowered at the dinner table and at your family's house. So think about that too coming up.
Absolutely, Stace. Love that. All right, ladies, that is what we have for you. That is a wrap. Let's take a quick little boomerang to celebrate so much goodness. We are so proud of you, ladies. Keep up the amazing work. Keep up the energy. Sherry in here, I love, absolutely love that you girls come and participate and, you know, show that this journey matters to you. So let's go ahead and do a little boomerang. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, girls. Love you all. See you soon. Bye. Have a good night.